Hello, welcome everybody. Welcome to Heart of a Hobbit here on the Lotro Twitch official stream channel. Yay! We are ramping up for Extra Life, which is a game day where you raise money for children's hospitals in North America. And I have joined the Standing Stone Games team on the Extra Life page website, so you can go and make donations there to support the work that they do at children's hospitals around North America. And then the cool thing is, because maybe you are a Lotro player, for donations that you make, you can get things that you can have in the game, like titles and other fun things like that. So yeah, so I wanted to let everybody know that that is happening, and so there we go. All right, so we are deep in here in the game, so let's see, we're in the middle of a whole bunch of things. Hang on a second. Okay, so I'm not in the neighborhood. Normally I start us off in the neighborhood, but we are not in the neighborhood. We are out in the Trollshaws, as you can see, in the Trollshaws. And I am over here in the middle-ish. You can see me over there. And, oh, thank you. There's a link directly to my Extra Life page. Oh, so if you wanted to donate, it shows up right over here. So the team is trying to raise $20,000 for Boston Children's Hospital, that's where most of the team members are doing theirs. Everybody can choose their own. So I'm doing Boston because that's the one that Standing Stone Games, they're nearby that, and so they support that one. So far we've raised $16,000 already towards that $20,000 total, and the game day hasn't even started. That's coming up on Saturday in 2 days. So there we go. All right, so let's close that map. So yes, I'm out here in the Trollshaws. Now, why am I in the Trollshaws? Because we are doing the Bingo Boffin quest line. So if you've played Lotro before, a lot of times you'll find that the main epic storyline that you can follow. So you've got your epic quest line, for example. So I'm like following this, and there's a diary that we're going to go find some keys for, and it's this whole thing. But basically, we're following along a storyline that is kind of parallel to the Fellowship. So there's times when in the game that you are, like later on, like when they get in Lord of the Rings, when they're attacked and they have to, scoot off quickly, you go and you're like, checking to see if they left any signs behind, in their hurry, that sort of thing. So a lot of times you're following kind of along a parallel story to the Fellowship, but you're not interacting with the Fellowship, the big F Fellowship, right? So there's also this other quest line that was opened up at one point, and that is Bingo Boffin right over there. He is a sympathetic hobbit. His title changes all the time. It's very cute. So he is a hobbit from the Shire. He's from Mickledalving, and he got a little bit of the adventuring bug. So he is an unusual hobbit in that way. And he has a storyline that has some similarities to things that maybe happened or in the same area as things that happened in The Hobbit. So while he has some similar adventuring thoughts as, you know, some of our favorite Bagginses, Mr. Bingo Boffin here kind of goes off on more of a Hobbity adventure, which is kind of funny because apparently Bingo was a name that Tolkien had considered, had put it, I guess, in the early drafts for Frodo. So it would have been Bilbo and Bingo, but then it turned into Bilbo and Frodo. So anyway, so it's kind of funny that he has what would have been Frodo's name, but ends up more on an adventure that's more like Bilbo's adventure. So that's kind of funny. Okay, so he is, so he started back in Mickle Delving. Let me kind of recap the story so far without giving too much away, hopefully. So he started back over here, yes, in Hobbiton, in Mickle Delving. And we had a few starts and stops with him as he tried to make his way out of the Shire. But yes, eventually he did kind of make his way along, you know, to Waymead, and then off to Bywater, and then off to the Frogmoors, and over to Stock and Budgeford, and finally he made his way off into Breeland. He made his way all the way to the Prancing Pony, made a friend there, another Hobbit, because in the lore there are Hobbits that live in Breetown, and it's very multi race kind of area, because there's humans, and I think there might be elves there, and there's definitely hobbits there. So it's an area with a bunch of different kinds of people, right? So he met a hobbit. They hung out together in Bree at the Prancing Pony. Bingo may have had a little bit too much to drink and decided that maybe he should just kind of continue on with his journey rather than getting caught up and staying in Bree for too long. So we made our way out to the Lone Lands. He went to the Forsaken Inn and found that that was a very different inn from the Prancing Pony. We did some quests out here. We went looking for treasure, looking for trying to solve some riddles, found our way over to Ostgaruth, and then eventually he got back on his travels, and we met him out here on the last bridge, which brought us into the Trollshaws. And since we've been in the Trollshaws, he wanted to see the excuse me, the statues of the three. He ended up finding the statue, three smiling figures. He has a map that he doesn't know where it came from. I mean, it fell out of a book that he had. He was returning it to the library, I think. And so he found this map, and he's like, oh, go give that map to the Matham Society. It's some random thing. I don't need it. And then he changed his mind. And he's like, wait, nope, I'm going to take that map, and I'm going to check it out, and maybe I'll go on an adventure. So he did. And so on the map, there was the glade of the three smiling figures, which, as it turns out, are the stone trolls from The Hobbit. So that was fun. So while we were there, we got to see those stone trolls. And then while we were looking at the stone trolls, though, there was a poor little creature here, this Lynx, who was caught in a trap. And Bingo didn't like that, and so we helped him out. Bingo asked us to get the guy out of the trap, and we did that. So now Bingo said, hey, let's go meet up on the road, and so we are here. Now, one thing I want to note that we are on the Treebeard server. So not that it necessarily impacts anything going on here necessarily, but we are, it's a legendary server that Lotro has put out. And so things are kind of special on this server. For example, we have a level cap of 50 right now. So that is the highest level you can go to. And the only areas of the world that are open are Eriador. So we can get into the Trollshaws, and we can get to Rivendell and Lone Lands and North Downs. And we can even go up to Forkhel if we want to, and Angmar, and Misty Mountains. But we're not in Dunland. We're not into, we aren't going into Moria yet. Moria is supposed to arrive on this server probably early January. So that's going to be exciting, because a lot of people are kind of making their way up to 50 at that time. So we have less experience for our quests in this on this server, because Treebeard, we go slow, just like the Ents. So that's kind of fun. And some other things you can do is on this server there are special like legendary adventures you can do. Oh, that'd be another good thing. I'm gonna make a note that we might do some legendary adventures on Saturday during the Extra Life streaming. Let me figure out where my notes gone. Let me make a quick note there that we could do, what did I just say? Legendary. Dairy questing. Cool, we'll make a note there. So we might do that on Saturday because there's like special legendary tokens that you can get, and then you can use those to buy special legendary titles. And then there's some like housing items and things like that that are only available on these legendary servers. And there's currently 3 legendary servers. There's Treebeard, where we go slow. There's Shadowfax, where they go fast. They just opened up the other one, that I was just talking about yesterday. Mirkwood, thank you. They just opened up Mirkwood, I think yesterday or today. And then there's Anor, which is going at, I believe, a normal pace. And they may have slightly decreased experience gain. And they're up to, I forget where they're at. They're like a level, you can go up to like level 115, so whatever area that is, I forget. Okay, so one of the things you can get on these legendary servers with those legendary tokens that you can earn in various places is those stone troll figures that that you run into. So that's really cool. Like you get, there's 3 different places that you can earn tokens, and so there's one of each of those 3 figures in each of those 3 places. So I've started collecting them on Anor, and I'm very much looking forward to collecting them on this server too. I think it's going to be awesome. Okay, so with all of that introduction laid out, hopefully a few more people have showed up. So hello to the new folks who've come wandering in. I did not get my tweet out as quickly as I meant to today, so hopefully all of you who wanted to be here are here by now. But I'm sure more people will come trickling in over the course of the stream. So I know, right? That pesky daylight saving time thing. It's an hour earlier here than it is in the US right now. We're in the Netherlands. And so I'm used to it being an hour later in my day. So, but that's okay. All right, so we are gonna go ahead and continue on with Bingo Boffin and see what it is that he's looking for. I love Affidal's over there having a chat with the Lynx, just seeing how things are going. Oh yeah, so I wanted to point out though, so I am personally trying to raise $250 under the team and for Extra Life. And we are already up to $145. So that is amazing. And thank you so much to the community. That's fantastic. So, okay, let's go talk to Bingo Boffin over here.
I do not mean to worry you.
He says, I do not want to worry you, but well, we are being followed. No, do not make any sudden movements. It's that Lynx. It's been following us for a short while now, and it is staring at us from across the road. Do you think you can wave at it to shoo it away? So our objective is to wave at the Lynx to get him to stop following Bingo. And I do love how they try to incorporate the emotes that you can do in this game. So if you go to your collections panel, which is Shift C by default, you can rebind that, but I've just left mine at the default. You've got these tabs here, so you've got your pets, you've got your mounts, and you've got emotes. Now this is a list of all the emotes in the game in total, but if you start off with the ones that are auto-generated, this will show you all of the different emotes that you already have just starting off. So there's all sorts of fun things you can do. You can sit, you can be sad, you can munch, that's very useful as a Hobbit. You can congratulate somebody, yeah. All sorts of fun things you can do. And one of the things you can do is wave. So we are going to we're gonna come over here. Well, I guess I don't have to get that close, but I already have wave on my stuff because I keep a set of bars of emotes because I do a lot of social stuff in the game, and so waving is a very common thing you do. It says the Lynx stares at you with large eyes and does not move. So I have wave, I have goodbye, I have agree, I have kiss and hug, because you gotta hug your friends when you see them, right? And it'll blow a kiss. Mwah! All right, so yes, we can walk if we want to. There we go, we'll walk over here. All right, so we waved at the Lynx.
Maybe Willem Whisker is
And
hungry.
unsurprisingly, it didn't work.
What? He needed a
Bingo
name,
says
didn't
that
he?
did not work. He is still staring at us. Do you think that Willem Whisker is hungry? And Bingo turns a slight shade of red at your quizzical expression and becomes suddenly sheepish. What? He needed a name, didn't he? He looks like a Willem Whisker to me. Just look at that face. Anyway, I think he must be hungry. See if you can get some suitable venison from the Glen Hinds or Glen Bucks in these woods. I'm sure Willem would appreciate it. So we will go and get some venison in the Trollshaws. So that is our current quest. Now, I'm still on walking mode. So if I were to mount up even, it's fantastic. I'm still walking, check it out. It's great for like if you're doing a procession with a bunch of people. All right, but I'll take myself off of walking mode. Yes, I got an impatient emote coming at me. All right, so yes, oops. There we go. I was still walking. The toggle for that is the insert button, by the way. There's some chatter in world chat here about the curator. So the curator, what? What is going on here? That's so weird. It keeps toggling back. The curator is a vendor where you can spend your figments of splendor. And they were around just recently because they tend to show up. She tends to show up near, kind of like in the second half of festivals. And so during the Harvest Festival, which just ended like 2 days ago, we had the curator did show up for the last part of it. However, there was some sort of a mix-up, and so she disappeared like a day early. And so people who were still getting their festivity tokens were a bit sad because they did not get a chance to spend all the festivity tokens they wanted to spend. Oh, the Eye of Sauron is upon us. Oh, there's some branches though. Oh, yeah, sure, we can look for deer. Oh, and I got a remote quest. Defeat elk in the Bruden Gorges. Oh, well, in that case. Oh, I took my guide off. Ha! Let me re-put that back on. So it'll be in the but sure, yeah, I can do a search. Oh, you found one. Okay. Cool. Oh, indigo. I'm gonna go grab that. Unless she's got to it first. Oh, I'm too late. That's all right. She'll pass it off to me probably. So there's a couple of scholar materials that you have to find out in the wild, and indigo is one of them. So there's indigo. Oh my gosh, I just forgot. I should just write these down so I can rattle them off. Woad. They look all very similar too. I can probably tell you which ones they are. Man, what? Oh, it's because I don't have my stuff on. That's why. Ah, you can cheer at a Glenhind all you want, but that doesn't help a lot. There we go. Okay. That was funny. No wonder I wasn't doing much damage. Oh, I can try and find another one. Hang on a second. Okay, so here's my one of my little hunter tricks. Is Passage of Nature. It allows me to track the presence of nearby beasts and other creatures. We are looking for none of those. Strong Glen Buck. That would work. So I've been able, so when you do a search as a hunter and I'm high enough level that it shows up on my radar, but also shows up on the radar of my fellowship. So that's really convenient. Yeah, that goes a lot faster when I have weapons on. Maybe. Oh, I think I see some, yeah, platinum there in the distance. That's nice. Oh yeah, should be tracking wood. No wonder I'm not seeing it. Well, I'm going to track a deer. Let's find out. Oh, indeed, it did. Never mind. I'm not tracking anybody. Bye-bye. All right, so now we're going to go back to Bingo. and feed the lynx and see if that helps after I collect some branches and Affidel gets some other stuff. And yeah, I mean, we're in a forest, so you know there's going to be branches around. It's just, you know, it's one of those things. Very useful. Yeah, we were just talking about this a few minutes ago, that I'm working, we were talking about crafting, and I've been relying on Affidel to make all of my food and take care of all my jewelry needs. And that's been fine, but you know, if you have your own character, so let me just show you an example here. So I'm an explorer, which means I can pick up most things. I just can't pick up scholar materials, but I mean, like not the things in jars and jugs. You can pick up food off the ground. But anyway, so I'm a tailor. And so if I go in and like maybe I want to make some medium armor for one of my characters, and I can make it with the materials, like, you know, the spool of thread and the leathers. But if I use universal crafting ingredients, it doesn't use up any of that stuff. And it says, now it'll say, warning, items crafted with ingredient packs will be bound to your account upon creation. But that means I can make this with universal ingredients. Don't worry about, you know, whether I have the stuff for it or not. And I can use it for any of my characters. Where it's really useful is in guild recipes. So like, look at this guild recipe. It needs 5 different things. One of which is a pattern, which is one of the guild things that you can make, right? So if I just use universal ingredient packs, don't have to worry about any of that stuff. I just use 8 of them, and I check the universal crates every day. One of our kinmates has them in her yard, and so every day I send my characters over there to pick it all up, and I get 9 ingredients a day per character, and I have 10 characters right now. So I'm getting 90 of these ingredient packs per day. So to spend 8 to make a cloak for one of my characters, that's a guild level cloak, totally worth it. But if Affidel is going to make it for me, she has to use all of those regular ingredients. So that's why it can be really useful to have your own gilded crafter to make the things for your characters. So I'm working on that. All right, so Bingo is like, what is the delay? Bring the venison, bring that venison to Will and Whisker. He must be hungry. Okay, so we'll go over here. The lynx happily devours the venison and then stares up at you enigmatically. He does look a little like a Will and Whisker, now that you think about it. All right, so let's go back to Bingo. Oh, hang on, we're gonna talk to those branches first. All right, and then he says, I knew it, he loved the venison. Good work.
To tag along with us.
I've been thinking it over, and I think we should allow him to tag along with us for as long as he wants. He is a good boy, I dare say, and it will be good to have another companion on this journey. No offense intended to you, of course, but you are not as fuzzy as Will and Whisker, are you? This way, WW. You are welcome to journey with us for as long as you wish. We go now to the next stop on my map, the entrance to Rivendell, the Hidden Valley. All right. So we have, yes, and we're Pat is another emote that you start with, so that one's nice. So all right, so Bingo wants us to go and find the hidden entrance. Yeah, we'll ride cross country because it's nice. Plus, you have to go to the top. So this is one thing that if you are a hunter like I am, and so, oh, I was gonna say, so when these episodes came out, originally they came out weekly. So every week you'd have a new series of this little adventure. So right now we are working our way through the Ballad of Bingo Boffin, a thing called A New Friend. And once we get through all of the pieces of this quest line, then it'll say something like, you know, it's kind of like a tune in next week, find out where Bingo goes next. So each week you had to wait after you finished that little mini section. But the nice thing is that the leveling was reasonably on level with the area that you were in. So if you happen to be questing in that area, yeah, and it was week 15 was a new friend. So like your 15th week of playing in the game, you know, if you happen to be around here, around this level, oh, it's a tater, never mind. Then, I thought it was woad. Then you would find that, you know, yes, it was really convenient that you would run across the bingo quest line at the same time as you're questing in that area. So, cool little thing. Now, we, however, are very festival-oriented people, so we got caught up with bingo, but then we started doing festival, and that's like 3 weeks, you know. So we are at least 3 weeks behind on the bingo quest line, but that's okay because that means I get to, you know, spend this time showing you guys all the cool stuff of the bingo fun. So it is okay. I think it's some fun content. So here's the Fort of Brunnen. Oh, hang on, this is a very important place, right? So this is where, you know, Frodo's been stabbed and he's not doing so well. Well, yeah, okay, spoilers for a book that maybe is, you know, a bit older, but hopefully you've read pieces of it by now or seen the movies and have some idea of what's going on. So yes, so then this is that river where they came to, and they were trying to get Frodo off to Rivendell so he could get tended to. And yeah, this is where the Nazgul then were defeated by water and elf magic and a little bit of wizard magic. So, but yeah, it's very exciting that you in the game get to come and see this location. And in fact, there's a couple of times when they send you back here to the Fort of Brunnen, and that's kind of fun because you're like, oh, it's the Fort of Brunnen again, you know. So, so that's one of the things that you encounter here in the Trollshaws, and so it's right here, kind of in the middle-ish. But as I said, so we're a little bit ahead of the quest line in terms of our levels. Like we've moved on a wee bit, right? And so I, as a hunter, have a travel skill that would take us right into Rivendell if we wanted to. But we thought, let's ride cross country. Let's ride through the Trollshaws. You know, let you see a bit of the countryside. And so what you do is you go through the Fort of Brunnen and you go up a bunch of switchbacks to get up to the High Moor. You ride across the High Moor, and there's a horse that you can take from Rivendell that takes you right to the High Moor, but it doesn't go the other way around. And then up at the very top, before you descend into the valley of Rivendell, there's a couple of sentries standing there, and so we need to go and meet them. So we're going to do that. That's true. So after I was just pointing out that to get to where we're going, if we were to travel to Rivendell and come back, it wouldn't necessarily be any faster because you have to leave the area and then you go up the switchbacks and you come up to the top. I think it would have been a little faster the other way, but this is okay. This is more scenic. Oh, I want to show off my D&Co de Miu mug. I love my mug. They're a fantastic website. They have all of the Lotro furniture items listed. So if it's a furniture item, housing item, excuse me, that you can get in the game, they have it listed on their website with pictures, and it tells you like how you can get it, and you know how much does it cost, who do you buy it from, all that kind of stuff. Oh, thanks. So there's the link in the chat. Oh, hey, there's some more branches. I'm gonna run over for them. Yeah, so and then there's there's a summoning horn here on the High Moors. Now that horse, if you take the horse from Rivendell, it takes you back down the hill. It doesn't bring you to here. But if you are questing with people and you need to go off because, like, for example, there's an area just off to the side, this giant valley. If you need to go in there for some reason, because you might, there's stuff that happens there. It's also a great place to go for some deeds that you want to do, and it's also a really good place for this tier level of materials. So tier 4, I think, is what you find here, right? Yep. Oh, that's platinum. I just got your platinum. Okay. But I was going for these heavy branches. Heavy. Okay. Cool. Yeah, so it's a great place to go just cycle around. You find a bunch of giants in there, but you also find, all the T4, tier 4 materials. Oh, so here we go. So as we come up, the elf sentinel eyes your small group suspiciously. Well, there's 4 of us plus our mounts. It's not a small group anymore. Or maybe they were talking about our stature. 3 hobbits and sounds like a joke, right? 3 hobbits and a link come walking up to the Rivendell. All right, so Bingo says, I hope they will let us into the valley. I greatly wish to see it. So the sentinel says, what purpose brings your party to the hidden valley? Are you on friendly terms with the one who follows you? He does not seem well behaved for the moment, but I wonder if that will change when he gets hungry. He does seem well behaved for the moment. Yes, the sentinel laughs, a musical sound, because elves are kind of, have that sound to them, sound quality. He says, the Lynx? No, I do not speak of the Lynx. I speak of the other hobbit with you, the hungry-looking fellow. He laughs at his own little joke. All right, so
Really?
Bingo says,
This
really?
elf believes
This
I
elf
am a
believes I
danger
am
to the
more of a
peace of
danger to the peace of
Rivendell?
Rivendell than our friend WW. His face is full of outrage, but he cannot maintain the mask for long, and he is his usual jovial self. These are perceptive elves. Will and Whisker will cause no trouble for them, but if there are any dinners to be had within Rivendell, I will menace them most effectively. All right, so finishing this, we will get a reward of 5 bingo badges, and it then tells us that next week, Hospitable Home, recommended level 39. So we finished the quest for week 15. So we finished that, but because we're a little bit behind, it automatically pops up for us. So a Hospitable Home has popped up, and it says, I am excited to explore the hidden valley of Rivendell, my friend, but right now my stomach is rumbling. The elves must surely have a dining hall or a storehouse for their meals. I'm going to take WW and find a bite for us to eat. You should introduce yourself to the top elf and tell him that we have come for a short visit. I have heard nothing of the hospitality of elves, but it must not be for its lack. He will not turn us away, surely. So our objective is to speak to Elrond in his library in the last homely house. So we will accept that quest, and I will go ahead and travel us down into Rivendell. So, let's go take a look over the edge. So from here, if you were coming on foot, which you can do, you absolutely can do, and as a chicken, if you do any of the chicken session plays out of the Shire, you would find yourself coming this way. So that we have now reached the gates of Enladras, and there's a path that weaves its way down, and so if we look down, you can see it continues back and forth and back and forth and back and forth all the way up. But can we see much in the valley yet? You can see a little bit. There's some waterfalls in the distance. There's some Hobbit falls right in front of us. So we're just gonna slide down. Oh, here we go. See, I just love this ride in because you do get to see the valley just kind of opening up before you, and isn't that just fantastic? I mean, it is kind of like something like you might think of if you were, in the Fellowship, of how they would have, yes, the Dell is quite riven, how they might have like walked in and been like, wow, like all the people who hadn't been here before, especially the hobbits, just like, wow. That is quite something, right? Amazing. Let's see, I've lost track of the road. Oops, well, the road will find me, or I'll find it. Wow, I'm still going. This may not turn out well for me. Oh, I have falling damage of 50 seconds. If you get to 60 seconds, you're defeated. So 59 is the most you can get. I'm in a skirmish camp. I fell way over here. I went across the river. That was pretty insane. Let me see if I can find you. Oh man, I'm walking slow. Forgot about that. Because I could just teleport us to, wait, are you on the other side of the river? I'm not sure how I bounced over that river. I think I hit some elven magic. Oh yeah, you'll just meet me at the front. Okay, I'm gonna do a return to Rivendell and guide myself and my fellowship to the Rivendell. So if Affodil was nearby, like we've done this before, when Affodil likes to go climbing on things and sometimes gets stuck, that if I'm nearby and I'll just like return to Bree, you know, then we both end up there together. So this is this works. Oh, and my falling damage is gone, so that's nice. Yeah, that was wild. Elf magic. We're just gonna consider that one elf magic. That is awesome. All right, so we are headed to the last homely house, which we've been here so many times that we just kind of like automatically wander here. But let's take a look at it. I'm gonna hop up on a hill and we'll take a look at the last homely house. So there we go. So this is the big stately house they have created for Elrond here in Lord of the Rings Online. And you've got lots of waterfalls happening around. There's another one back there. You've got, not Celeborn. Oh my gosh, wrong name. Glorfindel. Glorfindel, who is quite a big character at various times in the books. You don't see him in the movies. But yeah, so you've got all that there. He hangs out up over there, and he's this area that like glows when he stands there. It's pretty funny. He's very full of hope. And then the river that we were just crossing, it's insane. So yeah, it's really cool. All right, so in we go to the last homely house. I laugh a little bit here because we come here so often because there's a part of the epic storyline that we're in where basically it's like, I feel like almost every other quest is like, oh, this is really interesting. Go talk to Elrond. Oh, okay, we did figure this out. Oh, go tell Elrond. So, I mean, I do, on the one hand, appreciate how they are reinforcing to us how much Elrond is like an information gatherer and is somebody who knows all these things because, you know, he's able to put this stuff together, and he, you know, in this version of how they do Lord of the Rings Online, of Lord of the Rings, is, you know, you are, he stays in his library and you come to him for all of, you know, you bring him all this information. So now you come in the door here and there are stairs over there, and I think there's some stairs over there. But most of the time, most people just like fall down here because he's right here. And then you take the ramp back out. We're terrible. All right, so a hospitable home. We're going to look into this one. And he says, more guests. This is what happens when you allow one hobbit into your home. More arrive soon after, and more after that. He says, I will not turn this Bingo away as long as he remains a polite and respectable house guest. I know you will as well. Gandalf speaks of the mischief of your people, but I have only seen one or two examples of such conduct. He must have met Merry and Pippin already. He says, you should show him to Bilbo Baggins in the Hall of Fire. They must have a great deal in common. Despite my jest, hobbits remain an unusual sight in Enladras. Okay, so, and let's see, he has another quest. Yeah, that's a forward to an area that I'm not at yet. So I'm going to not pick that up on purpose because I don't want to get ahead of ourselves. Oh, look at you. There's a way to jump out there. Yeah, it's kind of funny. All right, so we and gonna pop out here. All right, yeah, and then this is another thing a lot of people do is instead of taking the steps down, is you jump over and you end up on the ramp, and then you get on top of it and you can just pop down. You don't take falling damage if you hit it, right? All right, so we know that Bilbo Baggins is not in Bilbo Baggins' room, which is across the way, but he is instead in the Hall of Fire because he's hanging out with the elves, having chit-chats, as, you know, as a lore excited hobbit would do. So this is the Hall of Fire, and we've got a bunch of big fireplaces at the end and stuff. So we're gonna run over here, and you have found Bingo and Bilbo already deep in conversation. All right, so let's take a look at their deep conversation happening here. our two hobbits hanging out, chilling out in Rivendell with a couple of others watching and talking. All right, so Bingo says, well, look who it is. It is Bilbo Baggins, the famed adventurer from up Hobbiton Way. I have been filling him in with tidings of home, and he has been telling me about his stay with the elves of Rivendell. Bingo looks at you conspiratorially and quickly whispers, he seems a right ordinary fellow to me and not mad at all, before proceeding in a normal tone of voice. Bilbo has had the capital idea of drawing me a map so I can best explore Rivendell and not miss anything. What fun. So we're going to talk to Bilbo. What does he have to say?
How do you do?
He says, it is always a pleasure to see hobbits outside the Shire. Bingo seems to be quite an interesting fellow, and I am glad to see him testing his limits. I have drawn a quick map of some notable sites here in Rivendell. Find each of these locations, and you will have seen some of the most notable locations in this beautiful valley. If I had more time, I could make a much prettier map, but I made this one with some haste. Go now before Bingo loses his taste for exploration and adventure. It is a fear of mine for all hobbits that the wanderlust will depart as quickly as it arrived. I do not fear that in you. I can tell that you are serious about the adventuring life, but I have never known a Boffin to have much of an interest in wandering the wild before. All right, so there we go. So now we are going to go and explore Rivendell. So that's kind of funny because in some of the various quest lines, you can kind of see the inspiration behind it is like, you know, learn how to shoot a bow, learn how to find, you know, how to track, things like that. Learn how to find things around you. So this is the, you know, learn where to find things in Rivendell quest. But amusingly, it's on a whole side thing, this whole Bingo Boffin thing. And a lot of people don't do the Bingo Boffin, so they wouldn't get this Go Explore Rivendell quest. So, all right, so we are, there's a bunch of different places on the map that we are going to explore. And you can kind of, they're just barely, there's one right there, one up at the top, there's there. So it kind of, it blends in a little bit with the map. It's very subtle. But this one is, there's a little bitty slip, a little path that you don't really see. It's kind of between the trees and behind the bushes. So the haven of Orladion is quiet and peaceful. He says, I hate to disturb the quiet here with my words. It feels a shame to do so. So it's very peaceful and quiet up here. Okay. Getting ready to drink the tea while we're running. We've done this quest a few times, so Affodil is just zipping us around. I'm looking at the closed captioning, which, by the way, we do have closed captioning on here. There should be a little button over in the far corner of the screen, a little CC in brackets. So if that's useful to you, feel free to turn that on. Sometimes it gets things a little wacky, so occasionally I look over at it and it's got some weird words in there that I'm like, that's not what I said. That's okay. All right, this says, the lake of Hid Huyen is peaceful and calm. There's Bingo over there. We'll go say hi. Although he doesn't always say something at everyone. Thank goodness it is not so deep near here. There's a whole thing about how hobbits don't generally, you know, how they find areas with water a little disconcerting. Unless they're like South Farthing hobbits or Buckland hobbits, I think. They don't seem to mind the water as much because they live right by the Brandywine. So they're used to it. So, all right, so that was the lake that we needed to check out. And we've got something over here to check out. Let's see, I'm trying to remember what's what. Well, you'll take us there. So we are going to still the Market of Rivendell, the Spire of Meeting, the Falls of Enladras by the Southeastern Bridge, and Imdolin on the North Road of Rivendell. And we will meet a rather well-known person up at this location. So if you have any questions about how to do anything in Lotro or anything about what we're doing here, pop it into the chat So let's see, today is Thursday, and Saturday is coming very, very soon. Saturday is the day of Extra Life. It's that charity thing. So I will be participating. I will be streaming. So the Lotro stream team here on this channel will be doing 12 hours of nonstop streaming. Well, I mean, I've been switching from one person to another. So I'll be on for 2 hours. I think it's going to be my regular time, so it'll be like this time of day. Let's see. It says the air of Dolin high above Rivendell is crisp and clear. The air is crisp and clear. Oh, wait, we just ran by Bingo. We're going to say hi to Bingo real quick. He says, I am a bit out of breath, even from just this climb. All right, so yeah, if we keep going up a little bit further, we meet somebody famous. Arwen! Have you seen my brothers? They are away in the wilderness, scouting for the enemy. I wonder what she sees. What is she looking at? Are you flirting with Arwen? Flex for her. She might be impressed. She does seem to think hobbits are cool, I think. So, yeah. So there you go. Arwen, Lady Arwen, yay. The even star. All right, yep, back on our questing. Are you just gonna wander off the edge? Bye. I like it. Oh, we're mounting up? Okay. That sounds like a great idea. Yes, so Extra Life is happening. Here, I'll put the little thing in. Oh, you're faster than me. Thanks, Moobot. So yes, Extra Life is happening on this Saturday, 2 days from now, and we'll be starting at noon Eastern time, so noon server time, and going for at least 12 hours. I mean, there's 12 hours on the schedule, but you know how it is. You get excited and you keep going. So I think Druid's Fire is the last one of the evening, and so she may just keep on going. Would not surprise me. So I think we're gonna reach our goal, which is pretty exciting. I mean, we're already so close. We're like less than 4,000 away from the goal with 2 days to go before it even starts. So that's exciting. That's pretty cool. So yes, the rewards there, there's a link if you want to get yourself some rewards for making a donation. Many fine goods are for sale at the Market of Rivendell. Where's Bingo here? Is he hanging out? Oh, there he is. It says the craftsmanship of elves is something to be seen. Indeed. No kidding. Let's see, who's that? Is that another explorer person? What is that person want? Hang on. Oh, is that what that one is?
Sweet lad Melon.
Yeah, it is.
Will you stay a moment?
Interesting. Okay, we're gonna wait on that because we're not ready to go to Region. Whoa! I went right back to him though. I didn't mean to. I was trying to follow you. I fall off of bridges and things like that all the time. So I think Aphidol was like standing on the ledge there just to tease me. Like, yeah, because if I'm starting to follow, I'll fall right off. All right, so here's the Spire of Meeting. The Spire serves as a popular meeting spot for the folk of Rivendell. And he says, an elf told me that sometimes large crowds gather here. You come here for various things, like there's the Chronicle of Events. Sometimes you'll use that, like at the anniversary stuff. If you're a Bjorning, you have a person that shows up. Stairkist is back there that you talk to sometimes. Oh yeah, if you do the Rift of Ner'zgashu, there's a gathering that happens here that you see. I thought it's here, it's not over with. Okay, yeah. So yeah, so lots of things happen here at the Spire of Meeting. So that's kind of cool. I like how they use that. And then we're gonna take this little slip road down past the milestone. So that's where the milestone is located in Rivendell. So if you bind yourself, if you need to bind a milestone to Rivendell, it's a really convenient place. It says the roar of the falls is overpowering, but the view remains lovely. Does he have anything to say this time? Oops, he's gone. Because we did the last one, and so he disappears and heads back to the Hall of Fire. But this elf says, Enladras, it is one of the few places left in Middle Earth. Oh, I missed the rest of it. Something about it being really awesome. It's very quiet. Oh, anyway, so if you are a crafter, there's a number of different places you might end up needing to go to talk to a guild person. So Scholars Guild, their offices, as it were, are here in Rivendell. So my scholar has her milestone bound to here because she's not a hunter, she's a runekeeper. And so she doesn't have all this fancy travel. So I have bound her milestone here to Rivendell because that makes it a lot easier for getting over here to talk to do scholar things. And she's not out questing in the world, so I don't mind her not having using a milestone that's not getting used. It's okay. It's okay. All right, we're back in the Hall of Fire. Look at all that. It's like, wow, they do a lot of fancy decorating here. Okay, so what do you two think? All right, so Bingo says, well, that was fun, my friend, and at each stop, I was amazed anew at the sheer beauty of Rivendell. Oh yeah, so like you said, he disappears for the last one. So if you want to see all of the things he says, you'll have to do this like with multiple characters, or just go to the wiki. It's probably in there. Yeah, most times things end up in the wiki. All right, so anyway, he says, I hope we did not prove a nuisance to the elves that live here, for I felt myself gawking at several points and had to restrain my tongue from wagging. Thank you again for holding on to the map, for I was able to keep my eyes on the scenery instead of down on the paper. It is quite a well-drawn map now that I look more closely at it. Bingo stops talking and takes the map from you. Wait a moment. There is something most distinctive about this map. See how the artist has used these lines here to form the shape of the mountains? Why, that is most familiar to me, for the mountains on my very own map are drawn in that same fashion. You remember that map, right? It's the map that started my own adventure so long ago. Can it be that we have found the very hobbit who drew the map I found in that cookbook? Da da da! The reveal.
Hello there.
So we talked to Bilbo, and he says, "Oh, do you mean to tell me that Bingo found my map of Eriador? Well, I am delighted to hear it. Before I left the Shire for good, I spent some time visiting my old haunts and fixing the dear place in my memory. I can still see many of my favorite sunny paths and peaceful benches even now. But one thing brought a sadness to my heart, and it was the belief that none of the dear hobbits I was leaving behind would ever experience the same joys I had in seeing the world. Oh, I knew Frodo would be all right. He had always been an adventurous boy, but he was unusual in that regard. I conceived of a plan. I would draw a map of the wider world, and I would leave it in a cookbook in the library at Tuckborough. Perhaps it would be found by an inquisitive hobbit, one who needed only the slightest of pushes to embark on a grand adventure. And look, I was right. Gandalf would be so proud of my inventiveness. I do hope, for Bingo's sake, that there will be no dragons involved, as there were for me. Then I would feel most responsible. But for now, it seems to me a lark and a joy." So he had this little, thing where he was trying to encourage other hobbits to leave the Shire and go adventuring like he had. He has very fond memories of his adventuring. Unlike Frodo. Poor Frodo.
I have so many questions.
So
About
this
his
ends
adventures and
this
his
part of the
writing
quest.
both.
He says, I can hardly believe it. Bilbo Baggins, the great author and adventurer, is the one responsible for getting me started on this grand journey of mine. I will have so many things to ask him about his adventures and his writing, both. All right, so that finishes this week, and next week, which is I think going to pop right up, is Notes by the Author and a recommended level 40 quest.
I wonder what Bilbo
Aha,
would think
it's
of
next
my
week.
account so far.
Time travel. All right. He says, I wonder what Bilbo would think of my account of our journey so far. He is both an author and an adventurer, and I would be very interested to hear any feedback he might have to offer. Can you give him my manuscript so far and ask if he will read through it? I am too shy to ask him myself, but if you ask, perhaps he'd be willing to take the time to read it. Okay, so eventually we'll finish this and we'll get bingo badges and we'll get a little bit of money and we'll get to choose a title, constructive critic or open-minded. So, all right, so Bilbo.
How do you do?
He says, Bingo spoke to me of the account he is writing of his journey. This must be it. I would be pleased to read it and give him my thoughts. Give me a few moments to look over the manuscript. It should not be too long, but I will need some time to read it carefully. I will give it my undivided attention. And he does, because our quest says Wait for Bilbo to finish reading Bingo's account of the journey. And we have a timer that started with 2 minutes. So you get to stand here for 2 minutes. Now, if this quest wasn't available to us, yes, like if the next week had not happened, we would be we would see the 2 hobbits there, but there would be no rings for us to use. Like we'd have to wait for the next week, and then the quest ring will show up because it's an automatic, calendaring thing. So today, we'll probably get to the point where we have caught up. Now, funny thing is because this server is capped at level 50, and Bingo's adventures end up outside of Eriador, he does go into Moria and beyond. So we will get to a point where we are caught up with his adventures on this server, and they won't start up again until, we open up the next expansion, which will be Moria for us. And then we'll do the Moria quest parts in there. But then once we get to the end of that, to the Lothlorien, we'll have to wait. Although, Lothlorien probably came out with Moria. Yeah. So. But yeah. So anything beyond the server, we won't have access to those bingo quest lines yet. So that's kind of funny because basically we will, with the slow progression on the server, which I am absolutely loving, we are able to really take our time and soak it in and enjoy it. I think it'll be a few years before we'll finish the bingo quest line. So that's kind of funny. Because usually, because I started playing like a little over 2.5 years ago. Coming up on 3 in January. But it's kind of funny because I started and all this stuff was already there. So I've been able to just run right through it without even having to, pay attention to the fact that it was a quest line that took time. All right, so Bilbo has finished reading. He says, I have finished reading Bingo's manuscript and I made a few notes. I very much enjoyed reading about the Shire again. I confess that I do miss the peace and quiet of my home, and Bingo's writing has reminded me of it in a fine fashion, methodical and calm. I also enjoyed his account of the people he has met along the way, Tom Bombadil, the treasure seekers in the Forsaken Inn, and also his Lynx friend, Willem Whisker. Bingo is fortunate he has faced little adversity to this point, and I hope his journey remains danger-free as it progresses. My own adventure was full of trolls and goblins and dragons, as well as obstinate dwarves and elves alike. Tell Bingo I enjoyed reading his account very much, and I look forward to the rest when his journey is done. All right, so we have collected the manuscript. We hand it back to Bingo, and he says, well, what did the esteemed Bilbo think of my account to this point? You tell Bingo what Bilbo had to say about his writing, but the more you speak, the more disappointed Bingo becomes. He liked the peace and quiet of the Shire? I am writing an adventure story. Calm? That is the last thing I want my account to be. He hoped that the rest of my journey would be danger-free. What a disaster! We have to do something. My journey has not been exciting enough, and I have not been including enough descriptions. Find dangerous creatures in the High Moor or Giant Valley and defeat them, making note of how exciting you find the battles. Then return to the Ford of Brunnen and take some better notes of its appearance. I was so distracted thinking of Willem Whisker that I only wrote a cursory piece about it. I need some help fleshing out that description. All right, so he wants us to go and defeat dangerous creatures, 10 of those, and take some notes back at the Ford of Brunnen. So again, this is one of those quests that sends us back to the Fort of Brunnen that we were talking about earlier. All right, shall I take us to Rivendell? So yes, with Hunter Travel, we're very spoiled. There's times when we're like in Thorin's Hall, like near the back, and we'll just port like to the front because it's still faster than walking or riding. It cracks me up. It's fun. Well, look at you already mounted up. Are we going to the stable or? Yeah, okay. So, I'll get to show you the horse I was talking about. There's a horse by the stable that when you click on it, you auto-travel to the High Moors. There's no like, are you sure? Would you like to go? There's none of that. It just like auto-travels you. So and it's one way. So yeah, if you take this travel by mistake, you know, start over. Oh no! Wait! Ah! I was following you. See, I fall right off a bridge if I'm not careful. All right, let me try this again. There we go. Okay, now I can probably follow you again. So we are, like I said, level 50, which is the server cap. And there are quests like this explorer from Region who are prepared to give us vector quests to get us further on and get us close to where we will go into Moria. But we are not prepared to go there yet. We're still questing, we're still doing Angmar and a whole series of questing there. So we are ignoring those quest rings for now. Okay, so yes, there's a little sun that's appearing over and over again over this horse because Affadil's really good at using those little icons where you can mark things. So yes, so you've got your stable master over here. They don't take you to the High Moor. This horse does, but if you, like, okay, with the stable master, right, you click on them and you're like, oh, hey, show me your travel destinations. You click on this horse, there's no travel destinations, you've just gone. Say, are you one of those teleporting horses? Yes, they are. And boom, see, just like that. There's no induction, there's nothing. You just go. Goodbye. But we're back at that campfire that we saw before, so, all right. And now we're gonna do the switch back down to the Fort of Brunnen. So down, down, down we go. Not into Goblin Town. We did do Goblin Town not that long ago, seems like. Oh, hey, Indigo. Woo woo. Yeah. Saw some branches, that's what I was going for. But, oops. Indigo, Woad, Yarrow. There we go. I thought there was a fourth one. I could open up a bag. Oops, I lost track of you. I was slowly grabbing some branches there. Actually, not that slowly. I've got a universal toolkit on my character. There it is. It's hiding behind me. Hang on, there we go. So I've got that right there. The universal enduring toolkit, which I am a fan of, especially in these early levels because it's a 20% critical chance on, on a lot of different, you know, like all of the crafting. So not farming or anything like that, but you do have like, you get a critical chance on the other things like weaponsmithing and woodworking and that sort of thing. Now, but for harvesting, it reduces the amount of time the duration of your harvesting, so you can harvest faster. And then like forester chopping is faster, prospector mining is faster. So I do love that. All right, so I gotta take some notes. Am I not in the right place? I'm not in the right place. Or maybe I can't be mounted, maybe that's my problem. No, what am I doing? What's wrong here? So maybe I gotta do something for my inventory. Nope, it's the same thing. Hang on a second. Yeah, so we're looking for this thing to go green. I thought it was in the middle. I guess not. How weird. There we go. All right, so now I'm going to take some notes on this river that I'm standing in. So it's an induction, taking notes. Excellent. Okay, you take some notes describing the fort of Brunnen. It was wet. I think he wants a little more than that. All right, now we got to go defeat some dangerous creatures. So we have a choice of being in the high moors, which is the flat area that we were just kind of in, or popping down into Giant Valley that we were discussing earlier, where there's a lot of good materials and giants and dragons and worms, all sorts of goodies over there. I see branches. I don't feel like we need to go into Giant Valley necessarily, though. We're working on Giant Slayer. All right, that was a dangerous creature. That fly, I tell you, very dangerous. And whatever else we just defeated, that was dangerous. Oh, here's a bear. I'll bet that's dangerous. And there's a moor hunter. Unfortunately, it looks a little bit like Will and Whisker, but it's not. It's not. Don't worry about it. It's not actually him. There's another dangerous creature. Oh, there's another one. So I mentioned we're playing on Treebeard, which is a server with an extra difficulty level. And we are both playing on deadly difficulty, which I'm finding loads of fun. Because we're always teamed up. I think it would be difficult if when I quest alone, but questing together, it's fantastic. So you'll see sometimes there's like a box on the ground, big red area around it, and basically it's that like the eye of Sauron is upon us and it sees us. Oh, I have a quest item. What did I get? Though beautiful, there is little that you can do with this lynx hide. If you were to find an elven tailor of skill, you might convince him to work the hide into an elegant cloak. All right. Neato. We'll do that. Let's see, I need no more. I have seen and defeated 10 scary creatures. So I think we're gonna go back to Rivendell. Yay. Oh, I forgot what I was talking about. That's all right. Yep. Yeah, so we'll have somebody that's over in that market area that's going to want that lynx hide that we found. The music in Rivendell is quite nice too. I still have falling damage. Oh yeah, the marks on the ground. So yeah, so on this server and also on Shadowfax, if you're playing at deadly difficulty, any of the deadlies, so deadly +0, +1, +2, +3, +4, +6 is the highest it goes. Then you get that box on the ground around you, and you have to be careful because you will incur damage if you are still in that a few moments later. All right, so
very good, my
Bingo
friend.
says, you have returned, my friend, and I hope you have had plenty of exciting and dangerous battles with which to spice up my manuscript. And I see that you have also taken down some notes on the Fort of Brunnen. Very good. I will use these notes to expand my description of that crossing. Bilbo will not believe how flowery my description will be now. Or believe how not flowery. And Bingo says, oh, you must be speaking in jest. This is what Bingo took away from my feedback concerning his account of the journey? I did not mean that at all. Bingo has missed the point completely. Can you tell him that what's really important in writing is how the writer conveys to the reader the experience of the adventure? I am most interested in how the journey made Bingo feel, not the number of dangers he faced or the quantity of adjectives he uses to describe the places he found. He said, I enjoyed Bingo's account and want to read more of it, but he has completely misunderstood my notes. Tell him not to worry about the reception to his book or he will never write another sincere word. Now that is an author's thing. If authors were to listen to all the critical feedback they'd get, they'd never write again. People are not always kindest in the reading of things. All right, so
my journey
but Bingo says, I do not know about that. I respect Bilbo's opinion, so I will not press the issue, but I do worry that my journey has not been exciting enough to hold a reader's interest. I will try and come up with some way to thrill my future readers, and I hope you will think on it as well. I have come to Rivendell, but my journey has only just begun. Where should we go next? So that's the end of that week. So we can be a constructive critic, or we can be the open-minded. I like both of those. I'll be open-minded though. We'll go with that one.
I do
Oh,
not
look, it's
want
next
to
week.
lull my future readers to sleep.
All right, so our quest for this week is a snowy climb. Guess where we're gonna go? All right, he says, oh, I am certain Bilbo meant no harm by his criticism of my manuscript to this point, but his words also echo some of my own concerns. Will this account of my journey put my future readers to sleep? I do not want that. This is to be a thrilling tale of adventure, not a soporific account suitably accompanied by a mug of warm milk before bedtime. I I have a new idea, my adventurous friend. I propose that we climb the very mountains in which this elf haven is nestled. We will climb the misty mountains and have such adventures that any reader with the unfortunate idea of reading just before bed will be rewarded with nightmares and a poor sleep indeed. That sounds terrible. He says, I have spoken with a number of elves here, and they tell me that the mountains are filled with many dangerous creatures. Snow beasts, snow lurkers. I've never seen any of these foes before, but we should do our part to defeat any that threaten us, as we climb. That will make for an exciting read when it is written down, will it not? So we're off to the Misty Mountains to defeat snow beasts and snow lurkers. Before we run off to there, though, I want to... Oh, do I know a shortcut? I do, but hang on. Before we go up there, I want to go over here. See, look, right by the fire is Will and Whisker. He's like, yeah, this is the good life. I bet they're feeding him well. He's snoozing. Right? That's the place. That's the place to be. Oh, and I have my title. It was awarded. The Open-Minded. I have the Dreamer because we defeated all the bosses in Halls of Night. So kind of leaving that one for now. Although, maybe I'll put this one back on. Servant of Process is fantastic. We're going to make that one active. And so each of them has like a little blurb, right? Like, you are a master prospector, you know, whatever. The Matham Society now looks to you when in need of some of the most esoteric items in their collection. So, you know, they give you a little description to go with your title. I love this one. Servant of Process. Let it be known to all men, elves, dwarves, and hobbits hereinafter the free people, that Will Tuffin, being of suitable age and discretion, and found within the boundaries of the Shire, has been served with process in accordance with applicable law and with all due diligence by the bearer of this title. The complainant, Hob Hillbrow, seeks reasonably foreseeable damages as well as exemplary damages if it please the court. Respectfully submitted by a servant of process in the case. It's fantastic. So I do like that title. All right, but how about I take us up to the Misty Mountains? Now we're going to go to Rimbarg. Does that sound? Anyone just travel? Okay. So the hunter travel into the Misty Mountains doesn't take you to Gloin's camp because that would just make too much sense. I don't know. I think part of it is because Gloin's camp is early on. Well, the main one I'm talking about, not the one by Goblin Town. So it takes you to, your hunter travel takes you to Rimbarg, which is over here, which is a little odd. So whenever you want to get anywhere else, you basically have to take a stable master, and I'll fix you up. We'll take the stable master to Gloin's camp, or take the stable master to the High Crag, or whatever. So now Affadil's gone and got themselves caught there. Let me see if I can take you with me. Oh. Interesting. Aww. They spent 25 silver to go to Gloin's camp and got stuck in that little cubby. That's an interesting one. That kind of is a bug report. Yeah. We like submitting the bug reports to help out, but the bug report information, like the form is kind of long. It's a lot of detail you got to put in there. So, I mean, I get it. They can't do much without that, but it would be nice if it autofilled a bunch of stuff. So, okay, so we don't need to talk to Gloin at this moment, but we are going to go and defeat some snow beasts and some snow lurkers in this area, because this is the area that Bingo really wanted us to go to. Because what you would do is you would take the stable master from Rivendell, or you would just travel up the pass and you would come out here. So I think that was the intention, is, you know, find the ones that are early on, not ones that are further in, like in Rimbarg. There's a snow lurker. Okay, that's one of our 4. Nice. Oh, hey, here's some heavy branches. And also notice we're still picking up tier 4 stuff over here. When you get to the other side of the area, that's when you start getting the tier 5 materials. right? So, for example, yeah, we're still picking up tier 4 stuff over here, but once you get down to these giant halls down at the bottom, that is tier 5 stuff. So if you were ever like, you know, hey, I'm really short on silver or whatever it is you're working on, that might help guide you to where you need to go. Also, there's a lot of branches out here for a place that's covered in snow. A lot of trees. And there are trees out here. I think the Misty Mountains are very pretty. It's got a nice look to it. Oh, there we go. Oh, and hey, we still need snow beasts in general for the deed. We do work on our deeds. So if you go look at your deed log, for example. So class race epic, I'm going to skip over here to where it says Eriador. Oh, there's some branches who just walked by. And so Eriador tab, down at the bottom, there's all these little chevrons here, and they each are different areas. So that was Bree, Shire, Erdluin, Lone Lands, North Downs, Trollshaws, Misty Mountains. So this one is the Misty Mountains. They each have a different little picture, which is just kind of cool. So these are some outstanding deeds that I have started that I'm working on. So like Bear Slayer, Giant Slayer, Advanced, Snowbee Slayer, Advanced, Troll Slayer, Warg Slayer, Advanced, Worm Slayer, Advanced. So we've gotten past the first level on most of those, which is nice. Now I quite like a plugin. Oh, oops, I'm typing in too many letters there. Nope, it's plugins, isn't it? I always do that wrong. There we go. So I like plugins. And so I use this one here, Deed Tracker. It's got this little circle. And I just have it tucked down here in the corner. But when you click on that, it opens up this window. And it shows you all the deeds of an area, even ones that you haven't started. Because the deed log in the game will only show you things that you've started, basically. It doesn't show you advancements. Like, let me see if I find a good one. So like if you have, something Slayer and something Slayer Advanced, like these, Orc Slayer Advanced, I haven't even, if I haven't even started Orc Slayer in Angmar, it won't even show up in that deed log. But this way I like this because then I can see like what all am I working on, what haven't I actually completed. So you can see there's a lot, but we just recently got into Angmar. But yeah, Misty's, 58% of the deeds here. So we're getting there. Ooh, branches. Would you like branches? All right, thank you. All right. Oh, let's see. The coupon code for this week has been gotta go fast for a 10% speed boost. There you go. So you'll want to use that like right now if you are interested in having that, because usually the code changes during my stream. So if that's a code that you want to have and you haven't used it yet, you want to get on that pretty quick. I want to get to these branches. There we go. All right, now I'll catch back up to you. I have /follow bound to a key on my mouse. So I just like click that and I'm following. And I have it set to follow the leader of the fellowship. And Apodil's the leader of the fellowship. Now, if I'm the leader of the fellowship, it follows the first person that's listed below my name, which isn't always the person I want to follow. So sometimes I'm like, how about a different person? So I try to just make sure that Apodil's the leader, and then I don't have to worry about it. I may have picked a fight with Snow Beast. Oops. Oh, I got hit. Sauron. Saw me. Okay, shall we... Oh, we gotta talk to Bingo at Gloin's camp. Might as well just go back straight down. Do you want to ride, or do you want to hit things on the way? Alright. Where are we? Oh, we're up here. Ah. Nice. Okay. Yeah, so to use that code and any other codes that you get for Lotro, you go down here to the Lotro store. You open that up. And then it'll show you, like, you know, what are the specials this week, which is kind of cool. 25% off character slots, vet status, stat packs, and VP boost, XP boost. I think I'm good. I think I'm good on all those things. And then it's cool because it shows you how much longer they've got on that one. But anyway, so if you want to redeem a code, you go to this other spot right here where it says redeem code. And then you just copy and paste is the best way to do it, to put the code right there. And then you hit apply and it'll go ka-ching, kind of like a cash register sound. Oh my gosh, it just occurred to me there aren't many cash registers left probably anymore. Everything's so electronic. Okay, so here's Bingo Boffin. And he says, a good start. Those creatures were most ferocious, and I think I can safely say that any hobbit hoping to read this book before bedtime will be dreaming of frightful snow beasts and terrifying snow lurkers, even in summer. We should travel even further north now if you think you can bear the climb. Let us travel northward to the northern Brunnen source. Let us see where it's marked on this map. Our travels will only become more dangerous from here on out, I wager, and that will make for a good tale indeed. So we're going to travel north of Gloin's camp toward the northern Brunnen source area of the Misty Mountains. Now you'll notice that old Rattlepax is here, and he brought Bert Bartleby with him. Is that a goat that you got from Bert Bartleby, perhaps? So he's the vendor for these bingo badges that we've been collecting. So he's cool because you can click on him and he'll tell you where bingo is at. You should be able to find bingo in the Hall of Fire, located in the last homely house in Rivendell, because that's the quest that we're on that sent us up here. And barter items. So he's got sometimes some furniture. So we've got some maps. He often has maps of where bingo has been. And he often will have a pet tome. So the pet tomes are fun to get. And then some jewelry or some weapons. Sometimes they're useful depending on what you've already got. I've got a thing with critical rating, so I think I'm pretty happy with what I've got. Usually these are not better than what I have, but that's because I also tend to do these, the bingo, I catch up late. So there's that. Okay, so I bought the tome. And the cool thing about these tomes that you can pick up is they're not bound. I mean, I could sell this in the auction house even if I wanted to, but I want to go ahead and get the pet. I actually did that with some characters before I left. I was I moved 3 of my like 5 characters off of the Brandywine server over to Landreval, and I was leaving 2 behind, but they had done some of the bingo questline, and so I had them go and spend all of their bingo badges and bought tomes that I then took with me to Landreval with my other characters. So I kind of like emptied their pockets and took their stuff. But I don't plan to play on Brandy again, so it was fine. The 2 characters are there because I'm really bad about deleting characters. I have a hard time with that idea. Also because occasionally there are musical or other events that happen on other servers, including Brandywine. And so if I ever want to go attend something and have characters there, I don't have to start all over. So that is another reason to leave characters behind that I didn't need to port over. I just restarted one of them because I hadn't really gotten so far with her anyway, so I was like, yeah, that's fine. Okay, so hey, look. Bingo calls a halt as you enter the narrow pass. A dwarf lies here, grievously wounded. Dun dun dun. He said, this poor fellow looks to be seriously wounded. I think we've heard this before. All right, the dwarf appears to have been in a very recent battle, and he struggles to speak. His wounds are very severe. Are you to help? He manages with great effort. The Kokor ambushed. The pain is too much, and he is unable to say anything else. Well, Bingo says, this fellow must have been in a battle, and recently we have to do something to help. This is what heroes do, is it not? He thinks for a moment and then visibly brightens. I know what we should do. I have heard that animals in the wild have a special sense for the kind of herbs and roots that will provide sustenance and heal their hurts. I am willing to wager that Willem Whisker has just this sort of ability and could tell you if you are looking at helpful or unhelpful herbs. You should search the slopes of the Brunnen Source regions for such clumps of herbs and see if Willem can tell you anything about them. You can do it, WW. Go with Rosenboom and help her with the search. All right, so we're going to go examine clumps of weeds and see what the Lynx has to say about them. Oops. There we go. And we're going to hit some things on the way. So that's the light brown goat that you can get from Bert Bartleby back down the hill. So Bert Bartleby moves around, but at the same time he's always there. Let me explain that in a moment here. Okay, so we're looking at this one. Willem says he stretches and yawns. Is he bored or disapproving? I don't think those are the right herbs. So when, for example, we are here in the Misty Mountains and Bert Bartleby has appeared at Gloin's camp. He is also in Rivendell, and he is also in, or maybe not. I think maybe he shows up in Rivendell afterwards, but he's also in like Bree by the West Gate. He's also in Nickel Delving by the Stable Master. So each of the locations he's at, he has a unique set of items that you can buy from him for the bingo badges. So that's why you kind of want to check in with him at each location because he has different things. Also, I don't have one on me. I used to carry one around with me, but there is a hat stand you can get. I don't think this is the right clump of herbs either. Yeah, he dances about. I guess I'm wrong. Giving you all the sign you need to take a handful of the herbs. I doubted. I was a doubting one, but I was wrong. Cool. Yay. Thank you for finding the right herbs. Anyway, okay, so you can get the hat stand. It's like a tall hat stand. And you get the first one from the very first Bert Bartleby, who is in Mickle Delving. And then, yes, then you saw those herbs. Now you're a believer. And then you can trade that one in for like the hat stand of Mickle Delving or something like that. And it has like one hat on it, his hat, like as he was leaving Mickle Delving. And then you can trade that at maybe Oscaruth for like the next one, and then it puts a second hat on it. And so you're constantly trading up this hat stand. It's very cute. And by the end, you could end up with like this thing that is like so overloaded with hats, you don't even know how it's still standing. All right, so the injured dwarf, his wounds are too severe for him to speak right now, but he seems to understand that you mean to help. You apply a compress of the herbs, and now his healing will be a matter of time, one way or the other. All right, Bingo, what do you think?
This dwarf is fortunate.
He says, we have done what we can, but I am not ready to leave just yet. We should stay and see if our efforts have been enough. I'm sure they will prove sufficient. This dwarf is fortunate we happened along when we did. I wonder if he is an adventurer, as we are. He does have that look, doesn't he? We will have to ask him when he has recovered. Okay, so now Bert Bartleby has arrived at Gloin's camp, as we already saw, in the Misty Mountains. Next week's story is a dangerous detour. Oh, we have caught up to that one. Cool. I'm not sure how many of these we've got.
Has been wronged.
Oh, hey, Winnie. All right, we have a Winnie raid. Hello to Winnie's Musings. Yay! Well, while the raiders are getting settled, I'll have a bite of a strawberry. Get a little vitamin C in there. Yay! We like Winnie's raids. All right, we are following the quests of Bingo Boffin, and we are in the Misty Mountains, where we have encountered a dwarf. And yes, a very brief stop for you, as you have foodsies now. Yes, I'm having foodsies after. The whole time change thing threw me off. I wasn't prepared. So I'm hungry because I didn't eat before. So I'm going to be eating after. Yes, hope to catch you all on Saturday for the Extra Life game day. Yes, very excited. So yes, on the Extra Life game day, Winnie is actually first. And she will be starting at noon Eastern time, Eastern US time, which is also server time. So she is going for 2 hours. And then I am right after you. I'll be doing 2 hours right after. No, we'll be back to, GMT, yes, because I'm GMT plus 1 or 2. I'm in the Netherlands. Whatever. I'm Central European time. So we're normally 6 hours ahead of server time, but right now we're 5 hours ahead of server time. All this craziness. So yes, everybody, you should definitely come back. Yes. Yeah, it'll be 7 o'clock my time on Saturday, which is really funny because that's my normal streaming time is 7 o'clock my time, except for today when it was 6 o'clock because of the time change. Yeah. So yes, I would love it if they would like all get together and pass the legislation to stop doing this changing of time thing. And I don't care. Like, pick summertime, pick wintertime. They're both bad. They're both good. I don't care. Just pick one. Let's do it. Right? So anyway, so yes, if you're watching, you should absolutely come back on Saturday because Winnie will be on for 2 hours and then I will be on for 2 hours and then other people will be on for other hours. So, all right, enjoy your food. Have fun. All right, we are going to get back to finding out what to do about our dwarf friend here. So, yes, so we're talking to Bingo Boffin, and he's going to catch us up. So he says, our dwarf has mostly recovered, and he's been telling me what happened to him. He is an adventurer, as we suspected. His name is Spalvey, and he has been wronged. He and his brothers were bringing a valuable artifact through the mountains when they were attacked by a band of Korkur nomads, and the artifact was stolen. We should do what we can to help him recover it. He believes that the Korkur brought the artifact to an old stronghold, a place called Heligrad. We should go there and bring these fellows to justice. That will make for an exciting story, will it not? But first, you should introduce yourself to Spalvey and learn what we will be up against. So this is really interesting because there's this quest line, and then there's also a quest chain really close by that's part that you pick up some of those quests from doing the whole epic line and glowing and sending you around there that also introduce you to Heligrad. And that's an area where then there's it becomes a dungeon that you can go into. Yeah, in sight of the Bitter Stair is the quest chain that takes you also up to Heligrad. And yeah, so Heligrad then is a dungeon that you can go into, and there's like 3 different parts that you do. And then once you've done all of those, you open up the big one. And so that's one of the top of the server raids or dungeons that you can do for level 50, which is the server cap that we have. So we are actually working our way up to that anyway. That is our plan, to start going and doing that one and the Rift of Nurz-Gashu. Oh, yay! We have a donation. Thank you, Anonymous. Oh, that's fantastic. So yes, just a reminder, we are raising funds for Extra Life. I am participating in that. And there we go. There's the link in the chat. So you can support anybody on the team for Standing Stone Games. Actually, you can support anybody, but I am on the team. So you can see we have a goal of 20,000 for the whole team, and we are inching closer to it. I have a personal goal that I set of $250 to raise for Boston Children's Hospital, and we are up to 170. So thank you very much, anonymous donor, right? Oh yes, that's right. I said I would do like a flip or something. So here we go. Every time we get a donation, I'll do a flip in the game. Oops, that's the wrong place. How about I do it in the game, not in chat? I'm not gonna flip in chat. That'd be weird. Ta-da! Here, we'll do another one in case you missed it. Ta-da, 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 ta-da. I do love the Hobbit flip. It is so cute. I don't know if I have juggle. Do I not have that yet? I'm not sure. I can't remember. Nope, I don't think I have it yet. I don't have that one yet. I haven't done all of my emoting deeds yet. There's some emote deeds I'm still behind on. I kind of forgot about them. So there's some deeds. There's some things you can do. It's a hidden deed. Like if you receive 100 cheers, if your character receives 100 cheers, then you get, I think it's the fire breathing emote, fire breath. Whoosh, you know. So the juggling one, I forget which one's from. On the wiki, all that stuff's on the wiki in case you are curious. So our kinship was working on those early on, and then I kind of, as everybody finished, as they were finishing, I kind of forgot to finish up mine. That's okay. I need to receive the things, not give them. But here's a little funny tip though. If you give a emote, if you do an emote at an NPC, then it counts as if you had received it. So sometimes I'll go to Wenda Cranesbill and just emote at her. Only 5 of them per day will increment. So like you can only cheer 5 times and have it count towards the deed. So the next day you have to do 5 more. That's why I haven't finished them. All right, so let's talk to Spalvey here, though. And he says, I am pleased to make your acquaintance. I have already thanked your excitable friend here, but I wish to extend my gratitude to you as well. Without your aid, I am sure to have perished. My brothers and I were transporting a very valuable keepsake through the mountains, a necklace of gold adorned with a beautiful ruby, the Rothstone. It is an heirloom of the dwarves and bears great value to my people, but we were ambushed by the Korkur tribesmen that haunt the snow-covered slopes. They slew several of my kin. I live only because they believed I was dead as well. They stole the Rothstone and some other valuables and fled to the north. I believe they have gone to the stronghold of Helagrad, once abandoned. I ask for your help to follow these Korkur villains and recover my stolen treasure. Speak to me if you're willing to do this. It seems that your friend Bingo is a bold adventurer himself, for he has already agreed to come with me, but I would value your help as well. Okay, so this is a travel now, and he says, I am ready to avenge my kin and recover our treasure. Death to the Korkur! Let us make our way to the stronghold of Helagrad. All right, so let's do it. So this is nice. It just kind of takes us right up there. And new quest, instance, a dangerous detour. All right, so it says Bingo's quest to have an adventure full of excitement and daring has now brought him to the bitter stair, to the dangerous stronghold of Helagrad. So we're up here now, by Helagrad, up at the tippy top. Okay, so let me close the map. And Bingo, what's up? He says, oh my, this is exciting. This valley is so remote. How many hobbits do you think have ever seen this snowy expanse? Not many, I'd wager. We have to find these Korkur nomads and get them to return Spalvey's treasure. It's not right. So we're going to go take a walk with them. Folks need to learn they can't just take what they want. So there's some stuff up there. And there is a place across there. He says, what gave these Korkur the idea they could take your stuff? Well, greed clouds minds easily, Bingo. My people know this well. There are always greedy folk who want what we find or what we have wrought. So there's some stuff happening over there. This way. All right, so we're going to follow these guys. What can you tell us about this place, Spalvey? It was once a great dwarf hold, strong and secure, and its delvings bore precious treasures. But it's not that way anymore. But then a dragon came. A dragon? It's not still there, is it? Isn't that the way with these poor dwarves? You get a whole bunch of treasure, and then a dragon comes. It says, do not worry, good Bingo. The dragon was defeated long ago. Yes, but about that. Ever since, many creatures have sought to occupy the halls of Helagrad. But none can hold it for long, not orcs, Korkur, or giants. Only my folk deserve to hold these halls, because he is a dwarf. Enough conversation. I hear the Korkur approaching. Let us surprise them before they see us. Okay. Bingo says, I think I'll wait here if it is all the same to you. I don't mean to be a bother. He's going to stay behind and take notes, probably. All right, so we got a little bit of combat here. So that's exciting for bingo time, because normally bingo time doesn't involve too much combat. These are not the same Kurkur who ambushed me and my brothers. We will cover more ground if we split up. Split the party, that's always a good idea, right? I will circle around and see if I can find the nomads who attacked me. You should press forward and bring our friend Bingo to the front stairs. I will rejoin you at that point, and if neither of us have recovered my treasure, we will consider scaling the front gate. Luck be with you, Hunter, and with me. So, we need to make our way to the stairs that lead up to the gate of Helagrad. And we'll meet up at the front stairs, he says. Okay. Yes, so if you donate to Extra Life, so if you are that anonymous donor, you can message Cord and let him know when you donated and to which streamer, give him that information. And then you can choose from the loot list that is in the forums as posted there in the chat. And there's all sorts of goodies. And if you donate $50 or more to Extra Life during this campaign, there is a new Tome of the Cozy Cat, I believe it's called. And that is a cosmetic pet, which is awesome. I'm big on the pets. Uh-oh, I'm being shot by something. Excellent. I prefer not to be shot. Do we not have to finish, everybody? Oops. Hang on, I've got an effect on me. Let me see if I can cleanse myself. Okay. Awesome. Thank you. All right, so the steps to Helagrad lie before us. Now, that big snowdrift, we can't actually climb over it. We got to go around it a little bit. But here's Bingo Boffin. Spalvey found his way up. And we can look across the valley that we just came from. And we are up here, up in Helagrad still. In the area, at least. Yeah. Bingo Boffin says, so many steps. Almost there. Nice. Thank you. He says, if you could just give me a moment to catch my breath. Bingo breathes deeply and rubs his aching legs. I have never climbed as many steps in all my life as I have today, Rosenbloom. I hope Spalvey knows how to open this gate or we will have to turn around and go back, and I am less ready to climb back down these steps than I was to climb up them the first time. All right, well, let's see what he knows. So yes, we are staring at this large, closed stone gate with some really cool stuff on it. We've got a dwarf there, and we've got a dragon there. So pretty neat artwork on there. All right, Spalvey, what do you know? I did not find the Kokora that attacked me. They must be behind this gate. And when we get through, I will make them pay for their crimes against me and my brothers, and I will recover the treasure they stole. All right, so into the courtyard, my friends. I think that is a capital idea, Spalvey. But there is the small matter of this enormous door. Oh, I say, he says. Yeah, we'll chomp a little, get a little question marks over our head. It's a consumable from an earlier festival. All right. You will no longer steal from the dour hands or from anyone. Uh-oh, dour hands? Gloin told me about these fellows. They are villains and bad seeds. Most unsavory dwarves. Yes? You have the look of an adventurer. Did you have business with this Korkor filth? We have already put an end to their thieving. The Rothstone Skorgrim star is ours once again. The dour hand peers past you, and his face lights up with recognition. Spalvey, we thought you were lost. Now it says survive the confrontation with the dour hands. There's a bunch of them and just a few of us. We'll see what we can do. But yes, we're having a conversation. And he says, Bingo says, Spalvey, are you a dour hand? Is this true? He says, it is true. I do not want any trouble from you. You must know of the enmity between my kin and the Longbeards. I thank you for your help, and I am sorry that I deceived you. He feels bad. And the head guy here says, I do not like the look of this one. Send both of them to their graves. Spalvey says, wait, I have a better idea. He's going to try and save us from having combat. Let them live and take the Hobbit as our captive. If this one tries anything, Bingo will pay for it. Aha, that makes sense. There is no need to risk further dour hand lives. I mean, we could have taken him. Come over here, Hobbit, and say goodbye to your friend, who is going to stay well behaved. All right. Bingo says, well, this has become quite a pickle, hasn't it? I am sure that this is just a simple misunderstanding, and I will sort it all out here with these dour hand fellows. You should do as they say. I do not want you to be hurt on my account. I will sort this out and meet you back at Gloin's camp. What an adventure! This is going to make for quite an exciting chapter. Bingo beams at you happily, and you wonder if anything can upset him. That's fantastic. All right, and Spalvey, he says, well, I am not happy about this, but it is a bad situation, and this is the only way for everyone to feel safe. I will bring you to the exit, and I implore you not to try anything. Okay, fine. So we travel now, and it takes us back to Gloin's camp. So that's nice. We don't have to travel here. So our adventure continues by, we are going to talk to Gloin about this dangerous detour. And you ask Gloin if he has seen Bingo around camp. No, not for some time now. That Lynx that follows him around has been missing as well. Why do you ask? Gloin listens to your account, and as you relate Spalvey's treachery and the arrival of the dour hands, his face darkens and he clenches his fists. Such treachery! The dour hands have been a thorn in my side for many years, but of late they grow more brazen. We will rescue that Hobbit, and they will pay for the deed. But we must not rush into action, or we risk its successful result. We need a plan, a daring plan. Next week, a daring plan. Okay, so that is then what looks to be the end of our current quest chain. So that would have been the one that opened up today, because they've been opening up on Thursdays. So next Thursday, we can come back here to Gloin, and he'll have a new quest for us that we can pick up. So now another way you can check on this is, so you'll notice that I don't have anything about the Ballad of Bingo Boffin is gone out of my current quest log. And if I look at my completed quests, I can look down to the Ballad of Bingo Boffin, and it shows me all the quests we've done. We've done quite a few. And we can see, you know, a dangerous detour. Actually, it probably is this one. Spalvey has revealed himself to be a dour hand, and he's kidnapped Bingo. You know you will need a plan if you are to rescue the Hobbit. Okay, so that's interesting. On here it doesn't say, you know, next week, a danger, or the, you know, the thing. So we'll just have to remember that we want to come back to Gloin next week and follow along with Bingo's adventures. We can talk to Bert. Yes, Bert's already here. Bert Bartleby is here. So we can chit-chat with him and pick up any goodies. I already got the Tome of the Goat.
Fine items on offer.
Oh, that's true. Yeah. If we click on Bert Bartleby and say, oh, yeah. So right now we are caught up. So notice how before I clicked on him and one of the options was to go to the store, but the other option was, where's Bingo this week? So now he doesn't have that because we're in the middle of, you know, we're in between. So when the next chapter comes out, we can click on Bert and he'll tell us, oh, you know, Bingo is in the Misty Mountains. And so we'll know that we come back here. Oh, hey, we didn't take our Lynx hide to somebody. So let's go do that real quick. I'm going to take us to Rivendell. Let's drop that off. All right, so we have about 10 minutes left of the stream tonight. All right, my throat's getting a little sore. So, if you have anything that you were wanting to ask, feel free to pop it into the chat. I'm always happy to answer questions. You know, if you're like, well, how do I this, or how would you do that, or anything like that. Just be careful if you ask me like a housing question or a cosmetic question. We might go over time because I kind of get into that stuff. Or a festival question. Oh, I know. And today in World Chat, people have been talking a lot about the curator and the Figments of Splendor vendors. And so the curator was supposed to be here through like November 2nd, but there was a mistake and they were around until November 2nd. So that was a disappointment for some folks. Haha! Hey, there's a light armor smith with a ring over his head. Let me go talk to him. I have a lynx hide cloak for you. In all my years, I have not seen the lynx stalking amongst the stones. Yet I have lived long within the safety of Enladras. The wild beasts grow more aggressive as each day passes, and evil stirs in the heart of Middle-earth. Your victory shows your cunning and skill, and I shall weave a cloak from this mantle worthy of your feet. Oh, and I get some reputation with Elves of Rivendell. That's nice. All right. Thanks, buddy. Did you turn in your cloak too? Oh. It was a drop. It was a random drop. That's nice. Let's see. Does it have a cool look to it? It looks like that. Nope. It looks like a lot of other cloaks I've seen before. Oh well, that's okay. So I think I want to pop over to the Boar Fountain in Bree. Do you want to go to Bree? We'll do Lalia's. Okay. Yeah, so we're going to take our own individual travel to Lalia's market. So this is a travel skill that you can purchase. Any character can purchase in the game. And it's like it's not gated or anything like that. It costs 3 mithril coins, which really isn't bad because I think you can get 5 mithril coins for like 50 Lotro points. So if you come into Lalia's market, and we're in the south part, or no, so we're in the north part. We're on the Boar Fountain side. There's 2 doors, one by the Boar Fountain. We're in the south part. One by the Boar Fountain and one kind of up closer to the Prancing Pony. So you come in the south, by the south door. Here's Lalia, and it says Mithril Trader.
Did you need something?
But you talk to her, and the very first thing she has is return to Lalia's market, and it costs you 3 mithril coins, and it takes you right here like we just did. It has the standard cooldowns, so it is one of your travel skills. I believe it might be a return to skill category. I'm gonna take a look when it comes back up. Let's see. It's a return to. Yeah, it's a return to. So for me, I have all of my return to skills down to 5 minutes. So for Lalia's market, I have it as 5 minutes also then, which is fantastic. You think it's linked to the same as milestones? Oh, okay. So milestones are one of the categories, and return to is the other category. So there's like basically 3 different things you can buy in the store that reduces your travel time, these travel skills, because by default they're 1 hour, and you can reduce them by 25 minutes or 30 minutes for a total of getting you down to 5 minutes is the lowest you can get, unless you have a premium house. A premium house, that travel is a 1 minute cooldown, so which is amazing. But yeah, everything else, the lowest you can get, the best you can get is 5 minutes. So I always get them confused on which one is which, but there's like one is a return to, one is a milestone, and one is a covers all of it or something. Anyway, so the wiki is pretty up to date. Every time I start a new character that goes and buys all of those, I try and update the wiki so it's a little bit more clear on which skills these various purchases are applying to, and then how they interrelate. So definitely check the wiki if you are looking for that. So what I wanted to do is come by the Boar Fountain here in Bree. So we're just south of the Prancing Pony, so the Prancing Pony is up here, and we are down here. Often this is where you'll find various people. So you've got Wenda Cranesville over there, our new VIP rewards. Love her and all of her twin sisters. But the curator was like right over here, like right about here, for a week or 2 recently. And you can spend Figments of Splendor there. And the reason why that's important is because during the festivals and other random times, like I got out of a box, you can get Figments of Splendor. I got one out of the Hobbit gift today, and they have a cap of 10,000, and I'm currently sitting at 4,200. When you finish festival wrappers, a lot of times they will give you like 1,000 Figments of Splendor. And I have them, I'm tracking them on my Titan bar right now, so I can keep track of that, because I don't want to get to the point where I hit the cap and then turn in something and then waste them. I don't want that. So you want to make sure you have the opportunity to spend them. So when the curator is here, that is one place to spend them. Another way is usually you'll find one of the, consider them a family, the Figment of Splendor cosmetics vendor. And so there's Rowan Raspberry, she's here right now. There's Myrtle Mint, and there's Filbert Fig. So you see they all have that kind of food thing going on. So Rowan Raspberry is another person who will take your Figments of Splendor. You can barter with her.
What can I do for
and
you today?
they each kind of have a different set of things that you can buy. But there's a lot of cosmetics, which is nice, but my wardrobe is getting full already, so I have to not buy the cosmetics because I don't have room for them, which is really sad. But so yeah, they've got cosmetic armor and clothing, cosmetic cloaks, but then my favorites are the housing decorations, the mounts, and the pets. So I can come at least to her, and the bed of the weaving wood is really pretty. I got that recently. Yeah, the weaving wood set is really nice. The Herbalist Table, I love it. It is an actual crafting scholar's study. So it's neat because it's one of the few crafting stations that you can get not for Lotro points, that you can get it with in-game, different in-game currency, I should say. The pig pen is cool, it's interactive. There's the brazier of the weaving wood, that's really nice. I saw it in one of our kin members' houses. The badger house is fun, that's interactive. You click on it, a little badger comes out. So some really fun things that you can get from the these folks. So the reason I bring this up is because they are swapping soon, and I can pull that back up again actually. They are, let's see, so Rowan Raspberry, who I'm checking out what she's got right now, she will be around through November 15th. So you've got another, today's the 4th. So you've got 11 days to go shopping there. And then Myrtle Mint is going to show up on November 10th. So the two sisters, cousins, I'm not sure, but they'll both be here at the same time, overlapping for about 4 days. And then Rowan's going to head back out, and Myrtle Mint will be here. So if you have Figments of Splendor, this is one place to come and spend them. Now, if you have characters, if you're playing on a server that has Mordor, you can travel to there. There is a vendor in Mordor. When you take the mysterious door, it will take you to the little camp where there is a person who you can buy stuff from as well. That's how you can get the floor that looks like lava. You can get it from that person. There's a housing guard that is in the form of that giant, I don't know what that beast is, but it's black and has horns and scary eyes. But you can get a beast for that, a housing guard of that type. So, yay! So that's a place you can go. But on this server, we could not. And in fact, here, I'll show you real quick. If I go home, I gotta look up first. Hang on. The other left. All right, so, oh my goodness, Avondale's up on top of a house. Up on top of Lalia's Market, that's hilarious. That is not where you end up when you use the Lalia's Market Traveler. Just letting you know. You are so crazy. Oh my goodness. Oh, did you just jump? Oh my goodness. That's so funny. All right, I'm gonna use my travel skill. I'm going back to my house, because I'll show you. If you use any of these travel skills that take you to places that we don't have on this server yet, it'll basically just say you've entered a restricted area, and it's going to kick you back to your starter area.
So I'll show you that real quick because that's kind of funny on the server. I did that one day with my stout axe dwarf. And so she went to her starting area. And I don't know if you know this, but the starting area is like this little dungeon. And there's no exit. So, hi, welcome to my house. So I was kind of stuck in there until one of my travel skills, cooled down. So this is the mysterious door over here in the corner. And you can get it from, if you buy the Mordor pre-sale. Why did I stop? That's weird, I stopped to travel. How odd. Okay, so now it should, poof. Here I am. And yes, so I'm in a restricted area. I'll be removed if I don't leave. The curiosities vendor is right here, and boom. How is the population on the server? Honor and Shadowfax are dead. Aw, I'm sorry to hear that. You're tromping all over Crick Hollow on your shiny new moose. Yay! Yes, oh my gosh, the moose that you can get from the curator, or maybe it was from, anyway. The moose is so cool. I think it's not the one you're on right now, Affidel? Oh no, it's not the festival moose. Oh my gosh, I'm all getting confused. Shouldn't dwarves and hobbies get moose ponies? I know. So it is funny. Yeah, hobbits and dwarves get a smaller version, and like men and Bjornings and elves get a bigger version, and it even works for the costumes. So like Affidel has the Sarah Oakhart costume. And another one of our kinnies who is a Bjorning has the Sarah Oakhart costume. And when they stand next to each other, they're different heights. It's really funny. It's quite hilarious. Yep, so there's the Hobbit version of Sarah Oakhart. You look so teeny. Boo. Yes, you're scary. So you'll notice that it took us back to Archet. So that's kind of funny. You know, that's where we, because that's our starter area. So that's where it takes you if you're in a restricted area, and, you know, and then it boots you out. Oh, hey. I have a spider for you. Yeah, so the population on this server seems pretty great. As you saw, somebody else was just running by, and we're standing around the starting area of all places. So yeah, there's plenty of people on, it seems like, and I really love the server because, like Honor was when I was playing over there, it seems very like group helpful. Like if you pop into World and you're like, hey, how do I this, or where do I find that, or whatever, people just jump in and are very helpful. I've been on other servers where you needed to go to your kinship for that, and if you posted in World, you got a whole bunch of weird comments. So yeah, I very much appreciate how like Treebeard and like Honor, like I said, not 2 minutes ago, someone said in World, thanks, the server is so helpful, right? Like that is very typical of Treebeard. And I found that was very typical of Honor when I was there as well. It's like the whole server is kind of like a large kinship together in a way. And that's really, I appreciate that. So Treebeard's doing great. I'm surprised that Shadowfax doesn't have a bunch of people, because you guys just got like Mirkwood today, yesterday, this week, right? So I would expect there'd be a lot of people like zooming through there. I think it's so funny though, because for me, I really enjoy the story, and I like all the little side quests, although I say that with John Brackenbrook with his, quest ring back there. It's the go bury people quest, and oh, you know what though? I do need quests in Bree. What the heck? Why not? Hey, let's go bury some people. Do you need this one too? Have you done this one? Oh, that's right, you did quests. I've done quests. So I switched my main character for questing and all the stuff that we're doing partway through. So Affodil has been playing as Affodil the whole time, whereas I was doing my elf character, my high elf first, and then I switched to my hobbits. So they're both hunters, and I was trying to keep them both up, but I kind of would let one slide and then I played the other one. But anyway, I decided that I really wanted to play a hobbit more than the high elf right now, but I'm bringing my high elf up along just because I don't want to like her to get left behind for when I do decide I want to be a high elf instead. So I go back and forth. I go back and forth. Head down towards Brigley's farm. So, yeah, if you look at the social panel, that's how you can see how many people are. And like we have 215 entries listed right now, and that's non-anonymous people. So if anybody is running as anonymous, you won't see them. Oh, okay, yeah. So like we were running around earlier doing some deeds with somebody. Oh, here's one. Earlier, and they were running around as anonymous, and I see them often. So yeah, which is kind of funny. Like sometimes you want to look at somebody and go like, okay, how do you have so much morale? Like, what have you got on? What are you wearing that I need to go and figure out how to make? You know, that kind of thing. Interesting. It's telling me to go up this way. Yeah, by the hunting lodge. Anyway, so yeah, I really like before posted there. We really like the synergy and I like the energy of this slower paced, and the difficulty level both are a lot of fun on Treebeard. So for me, like a lot of the game is about going into all these little pockets and all these little eddies and enjoying the storylines that we find in there, and so. Shadowfax to me is anathema to that because it's run and don't take your time at all. So I mean I get it in the sense that it's kind of like, hey, I want to rush to server cap and then hang out there, I guess, and spend like a month or two doing the end game raids, I guess. So from that perspective, Shadowfax makes sense if you want to be just end game raiding and nothing else. But you want to do end game raiding, all the way through. Like you always want to do the end game as it progressed. I guess Shadowfax would be a good place for that, but that's not my style. So I didn't make any characters on Shadowfax, because going faster doesn't appeal to me. Going slower appeals to me. So I just think it's really funny because on Anor, there was a lot of that whole, hurry up, increase the cap. We were bored, increase the cap. And then you have other people like me that are like, whoa, you guys are going way too fast, slow down. So I think that, opening up Shadowfax and Treebeard gives me a way to, instead of just opening up one server to test out the difficulty, but they were able to do two, one with the faster progression, one with the slower progression, to satisfy both of those camps. And I'm really grateful they did. If they had only done a Shadowfax, I would have been sad. I would have just stayed on. Yeah, I probably would have stayed on Anor, but I would have missed out on the difficulty level, and I'm really glad. I'm really having fun with that. So I don't know. I'm really grateful for Treebeard. I like like before was saying, the synergy of both the difficulty and the slower progression. So all right, yay! We gave them a proper burial. Somebody strange came through our chat looking for me.
Greetings.
And I gotta go to the Combe Waddle Inn. Okay, that's cool. I can do that. Prologue and urgent summons. Do these count for quests in Bree land? I don't know. Hopefully. All right. Oh, Nar, I'm so glad. They say, I feel the need to say thanks. I am hooked on the game again. I am so glad. I'm having such a good time in this game, and I'm really happy when other like-minded, like-hearted folks come along and are able to enjoy the game as well. It's so good. Like I'm really loving this level 50 cap because I'm able to really just indulge myself in all these parts of Eriador, without that whole thing in the back of my mind going, yes, but you could be in Moria, you could be in Mirkwood, you could be trying to get off to Mordor, like all those things. It's like I I can't go there. So it's not even a thought, you know what I mean? It's a, yeah, we'll get there eventually. It's not, we're not gonna rush, we'll get there. So much fun. So you, so you have an elf hunter and a man minstrel main to support crafting, alts up and running, with support, and you have never been above 45, still lots of things to discover. Absolutely. Like, there's so much in this game still to discover. Yeah, you're gonna have so much fun. I'm so glad you found your way back into Lotro. All right, I told you we'd end up going over because I get like that. All right, but I am gonna go because I am getting hungry and I want to make some dinner. So I will be on Saturday. Excuse me. So remember Saturday, Extra Life, game day. We will be here. This channel will be nonstop from noon server time all the way through and probably past midnight server time. So so lots of good stuff happening here. I will be on from I have the 2 to 4 slot. So I'll be on from 2 to 4 server time. So yeah, on Saturday, which is 2 days from now. So come by, help us, reach those goals or watch us enjoying reaching those goals. There's gonna be giveaways the whole time. So if you are in the chat, we're gonna have our moderators in there doing giveaways. And so you can enter those giveaways all throughout the day. So like that whole 12-hour time, there's gonna be giveaways happening off and on the whole time. So just, throw it on in the background and keep an ear out for when they say raffle and jump in. There's gonna be Lotra point codes and I think titles and all sorts of good stuff. So it's gonna be awesome. I get to do the easy part where I just sit here and talk and play a game, and then other people have to type in and keep track of all that stuff. Your end game goal is the best musically outfitted man minstrel possible with an elf hunter that can at least taste and some end game content. Yes. And then we're going to be going into Moria like in January. So if you are, if you hit that time, hit at 50 around that time, you can join us in for Moria. Do we have time for a quick question regarding factions? Of course. Yes, please, go ahead. And I will talk to Lizbeth while you do that. So my prologue, she says, a real live hero. Look how my tongue runs on. Tordan sent me to send you upstairs to his room as soon as you arrived. The stairs are across the hall. Yeah, 3D topography. The 3D topography just like, I'm getting closer to it. You can stay at the bar, I'll be back. But I'm not, yeah, I still get lost in Moria. So I'm very glad for Affadil, who is very
What can I do?
happy to guide us around. I'm the hero of our chat, apparently. That's funny. It is a cryptic summons, but there's much to do. Will hear me. All right, we have to go find the Black Wolves stuff, but talk to Constable. I gotta go talk to the Constable. Okay, so your question is, the Inn League and the Ale Association are contrary with each other. That's true. Are any others that cancel each other that I need to worry about? So one note I'll make real quick about the Inn League and the Ale Association is, yes, they are contrary to each other in the fact that a lot of times there are quests like a delivery quest where you get reputation with one, but you lose reputation with the other. However, they're never equal, the gain and the loss. You, like, for example, you'll gain 900 and lose 500. So you have a net, so if you did one for one and one for the other, you'd have a net gain of 400 both ways. So that's one way to play that game, because that's what we ended up doing, is we joined both the Inn League and the Ale Association, and we played both sides that way. I don't know of any others that are like that.
There's something in Mordor.
Yeah, we're thinking there might be something. I was trying to think of like any of those allegiances, or if there's something, it's way, way later in the game. It's not anything in the near future. So let me look at reputation. Like, for example, I have reputation here. The Karum Umnar, I think that's mission stuff. Yeah, so before I was thinking there might be some questing factions in Mordor. And we haven't even gone to Mordor, even on our mains that are 130 back on Evernight. We kind of stalled out because we've been playing over here. So yeah, just looking through these. Now, interestingly, with the Lossoth of Forkel, you start off like as an enemy, or I guess that's not the right word, but you start off kind of like even a level behind your normal starting. So don't worry about that when you see that. That's normal. Yeah, I can't think of anybody else where you get rep with one and it causes you to lose rep the other. Now, when you get into Lothlorien, I will warn you that there are protected animals, and if you defeat a protected animal, you will lose reputation with the elves of Lothlorien. Like 8 reputation, but it's still a loss. Like, it's, you know, so you want to make sure you don't hit the animals that they ask you not to. Is it insane to want to max every reputation? No, because we are doing that too. Do you have the deed tracker? Because if you have not picked up the deed tracker, I think you might find it both a joy and a distraction. So it's a plugin. It's like this. It is deed tracker is the one you're looking for. Go to that link that just got put into the chat there to the Lotro interface. And yes, because what it does, you're going to love this. You're going to love this and hate this both because it's amazing. It has all of the categories just like you have in the game deed log. Okay, so we've got our deed log. So you'll notice that the tabs are mirrored here. So, you know, you got Skirmish, Instances, Hobby, the War, Class Race, Epic, Eriador, Ravanian, Gondor, Mordor. What? What, this one? Okay, sure. Okay, so then, like say I'm clicked on the Eriador here as I am, and I'm clicked on Eriador here as well. So the way that the in-game one, it has all the tabs across the bottom. The one over here has them lined up going down. So you can still find them in the same order though. So Breland, Shire, and so on, okay? Oh, upcoming release date information for several upcoming features. Well, that looks exciting. Or let me finish telling you about this real quick though. So it will tell you percentage-wise how many deeds in that area you have completed. So like if I want to look at Breland, I can see in green, these are the ones I've completed. Now it will auto-fill anything that you do while it's running. So anything you've done already, the deed tracker's not gonna know that. So you'll have to like go in and manually click the ones you already know. So like you could sit here and I could be like, okay, I'm in Breland. So I can go to my completed, I'll be like, okay, Explorer Breland, click that, done. You know, Explore the Wildwood, click that, done. So you might have to do some of that to get you started. Now there's a shortcut and B4 can explain that, but it involves another thing. He can explain it. Another piece of software basically. That's it. Okay, so yes, there's a help page there, and come back on Saturday or next Thursday or Tuesday on his stream. And we can help you out with that part. But basically, get the deed tracker, get it started now. Because as soon as you have this, it'll start tracking the stuff for you. So it shows me what I don't have done yet, and not only that, it shows me how much virtue experience I can get for completing that, and how many Lotro points I could get for completing that. So I know in Breland, I have 23,000 virtue points I haven't received, and then there's 50 Lotro points still standing out there for me to get. Now overall, I can see that how many Lotro points, there's like 10,000 in the game still that I haven't gotten, and like 1,400 on this Eriador page. So you're gonna love this. It's like, because if you're like, what do I have outstanding? Boom, right there. There's also some stuff I haven't played with in here, which is basically you can click on the little gears there, and that gives you your options. Oh, this should say it's a legendary server. See, I haven't even done this. Whoops. The current cap on this is, well, it's 50 here.
Yeah.
So we'll do that. And then I could have it hide my completed deeds if I want to. I could have it hide the progress bar. I could do this. Do not include deeds above character level. So if it's something that you can't do, or hide deeds that can't be completed because the character is too high, like the Undying, like I died before I was level 20, so I can no longer get that. Yeah, maybe I'll actually click that one because I get tired of seeing that I don't have Undying. Hide not actively achievable deeds, like, you know, it's in Mordor or whatever. So you can go through and you can play with this stuff and yeah, make some changes there into how you have your settings in the deed tracker itself. So you're gonna love this. Absolutely. And if you have any questions, pop into either me or to any of my streams or any of B4 streams. Both of us can answer questions about the deed tracker. So, yay! Oh, it's made for people like you and me, trust me. Absolutely, custom made for us completionist people. So, all right. I do want to look at what Druid's Fire posted. Oh, I have just covered up the captions. Hold on a second. Okay, so Cord, this is a post from Cord about a whole bunch of stuff. Oh, and the new sales are up. Yay! So there you go. You want to throw snowballs again? I know, snowballs are so much fun. Once the Yule Fest comes, I will be able to get the snowball field and I will put it at the Kin House, and that's going to be great. So that'll be in Whitwich. If anybody wants to play snowball, we'll have that. Okay, so the freebie code is currently busted again. So that's not been updated. So there is a new code, but it's not working. So we'll get a new code out soon. Okay, so the legendary item reward track and a couple instances are coming. Okay, so it's not a huge amount of new stuff to worry about. Okay, so yes, this week's code is still valid for a few more hours. I let you all know about that one. That's the run speedier. Oh, actually, you know, it's in my kin message. I can just grab it from there. Yeah, there it is. Gotta go fast. Gotta go fast. So if you want that, you again go to the Lotro store, which is down there in your bar. And when the Lotro store pops up, you go to the part that says redeem code. And you click on that. And it takes you to this window and you put the code right there, you hit apply, and boom, it automatically applies to your account on this server. So, must go faster, must go faster. That would be Shadowfax, y'all, the faster running silliness. All right, so I've been trying to say goodbye for like 20 minutes here. So we're gonna do it for reals this time. So I will be on Saturday, Druid's Fire will be on Saturday, Winnie will be on Saturday. It's going to be so much fun. So just come on Saturday, lots of giveaways, watch us enjoy pushing that number up, getting to our goal. We're even closer every day. And yeah, and then I'll be back for the normal stuff on next Thursday. I'm here every Thursday. So, you know, come by, have fun. We have a good time. So, all right, we'll see you Saturday. We'll see you Thursday or Tuesday or all of the above. Thank you, everybody, for coming along and joining me today. We had a good time. And you know I love it here in Lotro, and I love it in Middle-earth. So just remember, wherever you go, whatever you do, stay connected to the Hobbit side of your heart, even if you're a dwarf. All right, have a great rest of your day, everybody. Bye now.